Hello, eRank. Welcome to another live Q&A on Spooky Thursday with me, Pam Duthie, and her 321 that way, Starla Moore. And hopefully today is an exciting day because either I've broke everything or we are dual streaming at the same time to Facebook and YouTube. So if you hate one or the other platform, feel free to dive in and go to the other one. It's eRank on Facebook and eRank on YouTube. There'll be links somewhere.
And I have
I
the
can't see
YouTube
things.
chat ready to go. I have the Facebook chat ready to go. Oh, and YouTube's buffering.
Oh no.
Of course, it's going to mess with us the very first time that we try it out. There it goes. It seems to be working now. So, yeah, for those who are watching on YouTube, just be patient with us. We're figuring things out, dual streaming, and hopefully it all works out. But if not, we'll learn and we'll figure out how to make it run more smoothly next time.
Yep, it's technology, and if it's doing anything at all, then it's a great first step, and we'll do better next time. I can't see a thing in them.
Everybody likes them.
Well, I've mainly put them on for Debbie because she loves things like that. But poor Debbie's not feeling well just now, so hopefully she's sitting with her feet up in a mug of something warm and boozy, I hope.
Oh, poor Debbie. So guys, for those who are new here, welcome. Every Wednesday, Pam puts a post in the eRank group. If you're watching from YouTube, the link is down below in the video description. We always answer those posts from Wednesday first. That way we can make sure that we are getting to those questions for those who couldn't join us live. But in the meantime, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, you're free to go ahead and get in some questions related to Etsy, eRank, or SEO. We also have some fun big announcements to make, which maybe we'll get through a couple questions, make the announcement, and then get to the live viewer questions. That way we can make sure everybody's here.
That sounds like a plan. We can make sure everyone gets a chance to jump on and the technology to work. It looks like YouTube is coming in loud and clear.
Yes, it seems to be working now.
So we just need someone from Facebook to say hello, so we know that we're working from Facebook as well. And
It's working.
It's working. Cool.
Yeah.
We've not broke the internet.
Yeah, we're just not getting comments from them both through BeLive, but that's okay. I've got them all up so I can see both. All right. So from our Wednesday post, Lisa asked, "What's up with Etsy suspending accounts? I sell upcycled original clothing, and today my shop was suspended right after I verified my bank account with Plaid. No email or communication from Etsy, just a message in my dashboard stating I've been suspended. Others are saying similar things." I recorded the whole process of me going through Plaid because I anticipated getting my shop suspended just because everybody said that your account will get suspended. Mine went through seamlessly. So what we're noticing is apparently there's a country code for some people for your bank account. And I guess entering the country code, which I think is 0, don't quote me on that. That seems to help with the issues. But if your shop gets suspended by accident, then in any case, no matter what the reason for the suspension, just reach out to Etsy and let them know and say, "Hey, hi there. I'm trying to do what you asked me to do, and I think this is a mistake." And they'll usually, help you to get things up and going again. But I can understand how stressful and frustrating that is right before the holidays.
Oh, absolutely. The timing's terrible. But the good news is we have heard of a few people getting suspended because of this issue, and it is an issue, and Etsy know about it just now. So contact them. People have had their accounts reinstated reasonably quickly. So just get in, email, they'll sort you out. But I can only imagine how frustrating it is, especially when I know a lot of people are stressed by the idea of verifying their bank. There's nothing dodgy or suspicious, and if you've got the email, I think it's just for American Etsiers, but you need to do it, and it's by the end of the month, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
I think everybody has a different timeline that they have to have it done by, and it starts from whenever you get your email, and everybody's getting the emails at different times. So
yeah, but it's not a scam.
No, it's not
And you
scam.
do need to do it. I think there's other ways to verify as well. You can get them to send a deposit to your bank or something. I don't know. I'm not in the US. But this is a perfectly valid method, and it's totally okay, apart from there's a glitch. Not all shops are like Starla was desperately trying to get shut down with doing this.
I was anticipating it. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a great video topic. Everybody's trying to figure this out right now. And then it went fine for me. So
And chances are like 99% of people it's going fine with. If it wasn't, the internet would be blowing up with the complaints.
yeah,
It's just obviously, if it happens to you, it's horrible and you're going to go the places to ask about it. So if you're in these forums and stuff, you're going to see people posting about it.
yeah.
But out of the millions of sellers on Etsy, I don't think it's not a huge enough deal that Starla was unable to trigger it, unfortunately. That video would have gone super viral. Starla posts, my shop got shut down.
I've done
10
that
million.
before.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did. I did.
yes, your shop did get shut down when you started. It's a new one,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it did immediately. Obviously, I got it back, but all right. Andrea asked, using eRank for trends, what's the difference with the hot trend buzz and monthly trends? How do you use them? And which do you use the most? I use monthly trends the most, but Pam, do you want to?
Yeah, should we pull this one up on the screen? Actually,
Sure.
well, I was gonna say we totally can. We maybe can. Right. Let's not have me as big as that. Right. That's my screen. This is good. Bear with me, guys. I have to find everything. So, well, hot, obviously, here is the wee button that says hot from the dashboard. That's a little shortcut for you, which is basically just a shortcut to take you to the trend buzz, which is showing you the keywords that were trending for the past 30 days. And this is I like Starla. I like the 30 days for seeing a large enough time frame to see what the actual trends are. So 30 days is kind of really handy. So you can see, no surprise, Halloween, fall, these kind of things. Because we're so close to Halloween, I wouldn't be thinking of jumping on that unless you've got digital downloads or something. It's not going to get there in time. So
No.
this is one to stick into your head and say, hang on, next year, can I get my Halloween stuff up? So it just gives you an idea of what's coming up just now. And you can even see the little arrows up and down. It's like I assume you in the US had it as well. In the UK, it was the top of the pops showing the climbers and the fallers in the music scene, but we've got it here in our keywords. So it's a thing. I wouldn't say you're going to dive in and say, oh, I've number one is Halloween, so I want to rank for Halloween. It's just telling you a large amount of people on the site are searching for Halloween. So Halloween themed things are likely to be being searched for. Or here, Halloween costumes. So if you make costumes, what types of costumes could be Halloweeny, like witches and all sorts of cool things. So it just gives you an idea of the styles. Yeah, the other ones, let's see if I can find them all. So we have basically trend buzz and the monthly trends. I muddle them up so much. Yep, so you can check back different months through the past just over a year. So you can look back and say what was trending. Well, what did actually trend in October last year? Because that might give us an idea of what things are perking up. If I'm just thinking, is it a really good idea for me to be running extra windows and opening stuff on a computer that's running all the things? But it's trying, it's doing something. Excuses if it's being slow. My poor little laptop is complaining loud. But yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a wee thumbs up over there. This is the first time we've done this, so it's a little bit exciting. Let us know if it's coming through loud and clear. But here you go. So you can look at what happened last October, get some ideas. So obviously people have started looking for gifts and ornaments, gifts for her, gifts for him. So it's really coming in some kind of Christmassy things. Advent calendars and Halloween decorations is falling away. So that's what I use that for there. Anything you want to add, Starla?
No. Are we able to, let's see, we've done Trend Buzz. We still need, we did monthly trends already? Or is that the one that we didn't do? Or hot?
Oh no, we're in monthly trend. We haven't done Trend Buzz.
So monthly trends, I also like that we can filter by our categories.
Oh yes,
That's
yes.
another useful, it might be harder to see on that mobile view that you're using. But with the monthly trend report, if you only want to see what was trending in, like if you do POD, we now have a POD section. So if you want to see what was trending specifically in t-shirts or specifically in SVGs, that because you don't care about the other things that are trending, you only want to know what's trending in your category, you can always go in and filter. There you go. Filter by the type of product that you make in monthly trends. And you can't do that in the Trend Buzz. So I think that that is especially useful.
It totally is. Be aware with any of these, like you see Disney search shirts, check for copyright, check that you can actually use these terms. Unfortunately, buyers can search for whatever they want, but sellers can't necessarily sell it. But there's some cool little handy things like Thanksgiving shirt, teacher shirt. What kind of things are people looking for? So yeah, gives you ideas. Yeah, and the last one that we hadn't looked at, now I'm confused myself, is the Trend Buzz that we haven't done. So, and the cool thing about this one is, lots of cool things about this one actually. We have lots of different sites, Amazon, eBay, Facebook, Google Shopping. So you get just the top keywords here, but they should be helpful. And of course, we've just added in all the different countries. So you've got, well, not all of them, but you've got a few countries you can pick from. And we also have, you can check yesterday, the past 7 days, or the past 30 days. So that gives you, like, I just use like the shorter time frames just for real cool, quick ideas. These are the more, could be more variable. Sometimes if a bunch of people search for something, it might get to the top. But if you keep an eye on this, like just peek at it every couple of days or something, you can sometimes catch when a trend just hits, when people just start searching for something. So if, like earlier on, you were waiting for Halloween and you just had got in the habit of looking at this yesterday time frame and suddenly saw that Halloween was trending, it would be like, oh right, I better get in and actually get my Halloween stuff listed. So it's cool to see the stuff that's just started.
It's a good way around the holidays too, or as we approach the holidays, to see how early people are starting to shop for the holidays. We started seeing the very first searches for Christmas items in August. So
Oh yeah, people are starting to buy super early. So it's handy to see. These just give you an idea of trends, and it's good to keep an eye on the trends, but don't be trying to jump from trend to trend to trend. See what fits in with your niche and what makes sense for you. I just find I can just, if I'm looking to make something new, it can give me a bit of an inspiration, just digging through that and then go into the keyword explorer, see what's happening, and it just gives me an idea.
all right. Was that all of them? Yeah. Okay. And then Andrea also had another question. She asked, I want to use my 5-star reviews in my social media, Reels, TikTok. Any unique and fun ways to do this without sounding braggy? There's a lot of ways to do it. One of the most common that I see in videos is you should be able to, I can't remember how to do it, but you should be able to track an object or a photograph to a movement like your hand. Pam, have you done that?
Not in a very long time.
Yeah, I know how to do it in Premiere, but I know that you
Yeah.
can do it in TikTok and stuff. But people will track like one of their reviews to their hand, and they'll like, shake and put the review up on the screen and like make it look like they're slapping it onto the screen. Um, Honestly, I would go through Canva. It won't be helpful for Reels and TikTok, for video content, because a review is very, I don't know. I would say that it might be fun to read a review and then respond to that customer. Like read the review and then treat it like you're responding to that customer. Like, I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to thank you for leaving me this great review. It made me smile. Like, almost make it feel like a more personal type interaction between you and the customer who left it, when in reality, it's a reel or a TikTok, so it's out to the world. But that might be a fun way to do it. If you want to turn them into just social media posts, though, go to Canva, go to the Instagram templates, type in testimonial or review, and they'll give you templates already made where you can slap your reviews right in those.
Yeah, Canva's super helpful for things like that. And you can use these still images of your reviews to make videos in Canva. It's very easy, just real basic things. Just animate a little bit of movement, put some words in. The next slide, you do a transition to the slide, things pop up, and it does it for you. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Just play around with it. But yeah, search in Canva for the templates, because clever people have done all the designing. It's really quite cool.
Yeah, it can save you a lot of time. All right, so we have two more from our Wednesday post, and then we'll be moving on to questions from the chat. So if you have any of those, I see that Lenore, I see that you've got a question on YouTube, so we'll get to you in just a minute. But you guys are free to go ahead and start putting your own questions in the chat as we finish up these two. Heather said, I have canvas wall art, metal wall art, platters, and cutting boards in my shop. I have designs for both fall, Thanksgiving, and winter/Christmas. Currently, my banner has a fall theme. When do you suggest changing that over to winter/Christmas? Within that same line of questions, when should you start featuring winter products rather than fall? Or do you feature both for a bit of time, then make a full transition? I would say that before Black Friday, like that cyber sales week, go ahead and switch over from Thanksgiving to Christmas. That way your holiday shoppers are seeing it, because you have to consider nobody's making Thanksgiving purchases on Etsy. I mean, I'm sure there are, but most people are holiday shopping on Etsy, and they're doing it now. And starting November 1st, you're going to see even more of that. So I would do it sooner rather than later, and maybe switch it over just like a week before Thanksgiving. That way you're hitting those holiday shoppers. And I assume that you're meaning like featuring winter products. Do you mean like in your featured listings on your page, or marketing? For marketing, both. I would say for your featured listings, both. Either way, featured listings are cool, but I don't think that they matter that much. I don't think that anybody's gonna look at your featured listings and decide that they're not gonna look at the rest of your shop. I think that they're gonna look at more of your products than just what you featured. So that I think is completely up to you. But for marketing, I would try to do a little bit of both, but really start to lean into winter, because you don't have a lot of time for the Thanksgiving products.
Yeah. In general, for most people, I would be saying think Christmas, because it's the big thing. But it sounds like she does have some specific Thanksgiving type things that could really benefit. Um, so yeah, definitely. They need to be up just now. But yeah, there's nothing for the rest of us. There's nothing to stop us making your shop look like Christmas already. People are thinking about it already.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Victoria asked, I'm really low on ranking and wondering why things have changed. Since Etsy's algorithm is looking at descriptions, correct me if I'm wrong, mine are all the same for my acrylic pour turntables, but I do tell my customers the colors of the paints that I use for each Lazy Susan. So that would be the only difference in my descriptions. My product is one of a kind. Could this be the problem? I don't think that the description update is to blame here. We had somebody else, Lenore had said something about since with Etsy's new search, I've noticed my sales have plummeted. I don't think that that's it. I think I always say, like, don't read the chicken bones, don't look for signals where they don't exist. I think that the issue is that we're going through a recession and people are waiting to start their holiday shopping. And as soon as Halloween is over and we go into November and all the stores are playing Christmas music and all the commercials are Christmas commercials and all the ads are Christmas ads and it's more top of mind, people are going to start hustling and making sure that they're making those purchases. So I don't think that it has anything to do with the description update, because I actually made a huge video when they rolled out that update showing you exactly how to prove to yourself that the descriptions don't hold a lot of weight.
No, same. I've been
Yeah.
testing that every now and again, and if they're really making a difference, it's teeny tiny. It's not worth worrying about. And Etsy's not going to make a change like that that's going to have so much weight that it's going to kick good listings off of search, because at the end of the day, descriptions are something that you type in that can be gamed, as it were. So the weight for that is not as important as how people are behaving with your listings. So if your listings were getting lots of good views and sales for that keyword, and Etsy slightly changed the algorithm, to let them look at descriptions as well, I don't it's not going to be making a huge difference to have knocked you off a search. In reality, my feeling, I haven't been told this or anything, but my feeling is the addition of descriptions is just going to be helping them if they're not really sure what to show to people. It's just that little added extra thing. They have enough information of, of most things. Your title and your tags are the most important thing, and even more important than that is what customers do. So
Yeah. And she said that they were one of a kind too. With one of a kind products, the one of the main things that Etsy looks for is repeat sales of a singular item and repeat reviews of that item, because they know that that item's already been tested in the marketplace. They know people have already been interested in it. They've hopefully, left good reviews on that product. And that tells Etsy we should show this product to more people. Um, so when you have a one of a kind item, you can't build a listing quality score, which can make it a lot harder to rank and search, because what you're ultimately relying on is your customer and marketplace experience score, which is your entire shop as a whole. It's your good track record with Etsy. So it can definitely be a lot harder when you sell one of a kind products in particular to rank. That's why I recommend that those who do sell one of a kind make sure that you're also marketing on social media and driving some of your own traffic.
yeah, that's your unique selling point, is you're unique. So
Yeah.
like that one of a kind art, it is fantastic because of that. Etsy did tell us a while ago that you can build up some level of authority in your shop for one of a kind things, but it is going to be harder than people who sell and relist.
Yeah.
So I would certainly, if I think it was fluid art turntable things,
Mhm.
if you can make a few things in a similar colorway, something that's doing popular, it's not going to be identical, but you can relist something if it's similar enough that the keywords would be the same. I've done that. I make these bookmarks. Everyone is slightly different, but it's all a black cat, so the SEO is the same. And in my description, I do say each one's unique, made for you, but similar to what that is, and that lets you build up a little quality score.
Yeah. Lenore on YouTube had said, with Etsy's new search, I've noticed that my sales have plummeted. But then she said, by the way, I sell crystals. My sales are down 66%. Are crystals just not cool anymore? Started in 2020. You started during the pandemic, which is when Etsy traffic was at its all-time highest ever historically. That we have never seen traffic like that. So people who started in 2019, 2020, and the, I would say the beginning of 2021, they all think that Etsy's dying because they joined when, the bathwater was the hottest. When in reality, Etsy's just going back to normal now. Are crystals not cool anymore? No way. They are almost always in our Trend Buzz report. You're just experiencing the what we would consider a normal traffic pattern on Etsy. And it can feel devastating when you were taking advantage of, the nice traffic gravy train. But now, unfortunately, you've got to start treating Etsy as, how it normally is, as opposed to the anomaly. I would recommend, especially with crystals, getting on Instagram and doing some Instagram reels, because one thing that I've noticed in my feed, at least, is that people just panning over beautiful crystals and holding them in their hands with a pretty background. That's it. That's the whole video. And these crystal sellers, that's all they do. And they have thousands of views. And then all you have to do is add a little bit of text into that Instagram reel that says, click the link in my bio to shop or to buy this.
I think we've definitely seen crystals trending quite a bit. I will say, though, I'm remembering back to Christmas 2020, Etsy was trending the sort of gothic grandma thing. So the metaphysical stuff, they were pushing it hard in 2020 as well. So you would have probably seen everyone with crystals, tarot, crystal balls, absolutely everything. Etsy was pushing a bit hard at that time as well. So crystals are still super popular, but probably not being pushed as hard as they were. So as Starla said, you've got something that's pretty. Get it out there in places where people like to look at pretty things.
All right. Let me oh goodness. Just ignore YouTube right now, guys.
Oh, is it? For some reason I'm only getting the YouTube comments just now. I should be getting Facebook as well, but
give me one moment.
Yeah, new technology, people. But let us know just now in whichever chat you're in where you're watching us from, YouTube or Facebook, and if it's working, so we get an idea of if it's worth doing this dual streaming thing, or if you would prefer us just to stick to one platform.
Yeah. Travis on YouTube asked, with the new description search, does that mean you should treat changes to descriptions similar to changes to tags and titles? No. If you need to, here's the thing. Usually, your most important keywords that you want to be known for should already be in your description somewhere. Most people are, if you're describing your mug, obviously your mug is going to be a mug, and there's no other way to say that it's a mug. So you're already kind of optimizing there. If you need to, change some things around in your description, maybe you need to add a new detail about your product, or maybe you're offering something different, or you have a new option, or you need to update, some information about how it's shipped. There should be no impact whatsoever on it. It's tags and titles that you don't want to mess with when you're, when you've got a listing that's performing well. But if you need to make an edit to your photos, to your description, to your pricing, things like that, those things don't have an impact that I think is going to hurt your shop at all.
Yeah, and there's no. This is a kind of myth thing anyway, that if you make any change to your shop, suddenly the clock's reset and everything's going to die. I actually noticed a couple of months back, I filmed it and then I've lost the video, but a couple of months back, one of my top sellers, I had a dash separating phrases, and the idiot that I am didn't have a space. I mean, is this the most basic? I know. And it's one of my top sellers. And I went in and I checked before it where I was ranking. I'm tracking that with listing changes and everything. I went in, I changed that, and do you know what happened to my listing? Not a thing. Not a bad thing at all. The number of views stayed the same, the number of sales stayed the same, my ranking position for all the keywords I was tracking stayed the same. If I'd have gone in and taken out the keywords that were doing good, then that would have been a problem. But even more, like we've already said, description's such a tiny difference. But I can see that it's quite often you might have to dive into a description and change something, describe something a bit different, tell people some different information. It's not gonna it's not gonna make a negative difference in any way. Descriptions mostly are there for your buyers.
Let's see. We'll do Yusuf on YouTube, and then we'll get to Melanie on Facebook. When optimizing a listing, changing the tags with the same ones, so not putting new keywords work to get listing to refresh and seen more. So I'm assuming that you're asking if changing the tags with the same ones, not putting new keywords. So basically adding in tags across multiple listings, adding the same tags within multiple listings. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt anything to use the same tags in multiple listings. I sense that there are two questions here. So I'm going to try to tackle this the best that I can, because I'm feel free to reiterate your question in the comments so I can make sure that I'm understanding. There's a big myth that goes around that people say that you cannot use the same keywords in multiple listings, otherwise you'll compete with yourself in search. That's impossible. You cannot compete with yourself in search. To compete with yourself in search would mean that only one listing from every shop can be shown on a search page for a certain, search result. And that's not true, because you can be seen multiple times for a singular search. So you can totally, use the same terms in your listings. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're not changing anything in your listings. Don't change your tags and titles if your listing is doing well, because then obviously you run the risk of harming it. Now, there's also another rumor that goes around where people say to go in and refresh your listings every day, or to renew your listings every day and pay the 20 cents, and that will help give you a boost. New listings on Etsy do get a boost in search. However, if you're constantly in there renewing your listings, trying to ride that boost, and Etsy sees that you're still not selling anything, what are they going to do? They're going to show that listing to less and less people, because they're saying, oh, this is all the way at the top of the search pages and still nobody wants it. Well, I guess that means that we need to show it to less people. Nobody wants this thing. So I hope that answers your question. But like I said, feel free to reiterate in the YouTube comments, and I can.
Yes, explain if we're not getting it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, that the boost for refreshing, Etsy tells us this boost for new listings and refreshing is so they understand how your listing does for the keywords, because it doesn't have a quality score for that keyword. So if you keep relisting it, it knows. It's saying, okay, I've seen you don't do very good for this keyword, therefore we don't need to boost you. So it's going to go less and less. But if you have worked on your SEO and you've changed your listing a little bit, you're aiming for different keywords, it totally doesn't hurt to give it a once off renew, to basically just say to Etsy, hey, I've done some changes, what do you think? But yeah, not doing it all the time.
Somebody had said that the Facebook video stopped working, but it's still working for me. So we will continue on. Melanie had asked, sorry, it took so long to get to this, Melanie. I completely missed it. When using a review on socials, do you leave the name of the buyer or blur it out? It's usually best practice to ask them for permission. You technically don't have to, because they've left it publicly. There's nothing that says that you have to ask them. I think that it's nice to ask, but in the event that you're not, I would say that it's fine to blur it out, or just use the first name. That's always an option as well. That way you're not putting their first and last name in there.
Yeah, I could see it could look pretty cool still if you were showing several reviews. You don't need to put all their personal details on it. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Melanie had said, I'd like it more if you picked one platform, though, so the chat is one thing and not splitting. We try to only do them here in the Facebook group, or I guess if you're watching on YouTube, it's not here. But we've
Over
tried,
there.
yeah, over there. We've tried to do them just in the Facebook group, and we tend to not get very many people. It's always the same people every week. So we
Who
end
we
up,
appreciate and love, but you guys are experts now. We've answered everything.
right, we run out of questions. So we try to, we're trying something new. All right, let's see. Is it let's see, Pavel? Sorry, newbie question. The customer left a 1-star review on my listing. I messaged the client back and asked if he can adjust the review on a refund from my side. And at the same time, I replied to the review in public. Probably not a good idea. Yeah, because once you reply, it's locked in. Unfortunately. The next day, the client replied back and was ready to adjust the review, but did not have the adjust the review option. Why did it disappear? What option do I have now? Unfortunately, you don't have one. The second that you respond publicly to a review, you lose the ability for that customer to change the review, and you lose the ability for Etsy to go in and remove the review if the review was left, unjustifiably. So unfortunately, you're stuck with that one. I know that it really, really stinks, but just keep maintaining good customer service. You've already responded to it, so hopefully that response is a good indicator for new people who come to your shop and they see that response. Hopefully you mentioned in your response that you've refunded the customer, which is an ideal resolution. And in no time at all, you'll bury that review with some good reviews. Just maintain good customer service and you should be able to get yourself right back up.
Yeah. One thing I'm seeing a massive trend of, and I totally understand why, Etsy does sort of make us feel like we have to focus so much on those 5-star reviews. But when you get a 1-star review or a 4-star review or whatever else, your first thought shouldn't be, how do I make the customer give me a 5-star review? They've given that review and they are under no, they don't have lost ability to words, but they don't have to change the review. That's been their experience. What you want to be stopping and thinking is, that customer gave a 1-star review. They are unhappy. What can I do to help the customer, or what can I learn from this? So I would generally never be diving in and saying, if I do this thing, will you fix my review? It's, you are so unhappy with this item, is the resolution that I give you a refund for it? But don't be trying to do this bartering thing of, oh no, you've given me 1 stars, if I give you your money back, will you give me 5 stars? Because that's not how reviews are really supposed to work. So I would look more into these as a learning curve and go, why is the customer unhappy? Do they have a good point to it? You dive in and don't answer it immediately. Email them, find out what's going on, see if you can come to a resolution with the customer. That shouldn't always, your first protocol shouldn't always be, oh, refund. It's like, what is wrong? Is this broken? Did it arrive late? Is the packaging terrible? Is my description or my photographs wrong? What do I need to learn from this? And yeah, I don't know, I'm seeing on so many groups now, people are just like, this happened and I refunded, this happened and I refunded. And it's almost like we're teaching customers, here's how you get your money back. So I don't like to think like that. Deal with the customer first. And if you can't get a resolution from the customer and you think it's unfair, then deal with Etsy. If you can't get a resolution and it's fair enough, that was their experience and they don't want to work with you, then that's the time to reply to the review. And that reply is for future customers who are going to look through. So keep it professional. Don't be like, oh no, this person's a terrible person, but just be like, here's the things we offered. We're really sorry we couldn't reach a resolution. We like to make our customers happy, but it's not always possible.
Yeah. Anne asked if there were any thoughts on trends for colors for 2023. It's a little early, but color of the year should be coming out soon from Pantone. However, I did find a new website. I was just looking for the link. That's why if you saw like my screen flashing in my eyes, I found a website called Trend Design Book when I was doing my last trend video, and I really, really liked it. However, I was looking, they have a catalog, and the catalog is so expensive. It is ridiculously expensive. I'll have to double check and see what the price was. But
yes, I had a look at that a little while ago, and I think that site is designed for designers, so it's giving you the trends way in advance. I remember I looked and then I thought, "Ooh, that's probably more than I want to pay for a video." Unless like 2 million of you want to watch the video, then I'll pay for the I'll pay for the catalog, and then I think we have predictions for years to come. But nah.
Yeah, 199 euros for this one. But I checked their website. I'm linking you guys to an article that I saw. It was Christmas decor trends. It appears that every once in a while on their blog, they release little blog articles about similar trends like this. So it might be a website to keep an eye on, because I'm noticing that they're faster than anybody else, because I think that they help interior designers, like Pam said, and people who run like hotels, for example, and people who need their establishments to be ready to go for the latest trends. So that might be something to keep in your back pocket. I linked it both on YouTube and in the Facebook chat. So check that out.
Yeah, they're not just telling us the trends, they're like creating the trends, so they're good to get in there with. Yes, it's a good reminder. I'd looked at that and then totally forgot about it. So
okay.
I'm seeing a load of people on YouTube saying this, they've managed to get to see us live, so that's good. Hey, awesome. Ginger and Lenore and everybody else.
Perfect. Let's see. And Melanie had talked about how Etsy's like heavily pushing the refunds, and like right when a problem, when a buyer says that they have a problem, Etsy immediately like offers them the option for a refund, which really sucks. She said a seller sent a message to me as a buyer, and there was a big Etsy message: have a problem with your order, request help. It made it difficult to see the message from the seller. It obstructed half of the message box. Yeah. It's like they want there to be a problem.
Yeah, these are a pain, but what it is actually doing is this is the new thing that rather than just be able to jump straight in and open a case, you have to message to say I've had a problem. So although it's a pain, it is supposedly to slow down the customers just jumping on the open a case, terrible, so they can actually message you and say, here is the problem, and give you a chance with it first. But I do agree it's right there front and center. And from a seller's perspective, because I've had a lovely customer, she was just messaging me about her order, because mine are all custom made, so she knew she had to message me about it, didn't know what button to hit, so put the I need help with an order, because she needed help, but not things were going wrong. And I get a big thing going, your customer has messaged about this, you must reply within 24 hours else they can open a case. And I'm like, what? But yeah. So my poor absolutely lovely customer didn't know what they were doing at all.
I'm sure that they're trying to make things easier as we approach the holiday season. I'm sure Etsy has good intentions. They don't want people to be upset with their orders. They're just making things a little more complicated.
Yeah. Well, that's any kind of change. Like, so many people complained, and quite rightly, they didn't like that customers would just open up a case without messaging you. So they fixed that. But
Oh, Melanie said it was not to the seller. It messages Etsy, I think. I was talking to the seller and the message from Etsy was there when the seller sent the first message and it didn't go away. Might be something. Ooh.
Yes, that's an automatic thing. If you've gone rather than just message, you've hit that I need help with this order. There's an automatic thing is sent from Etsy just to alert and say, look, your customer's not happy. Or I've not seen it from the customer point of view, but the other way, it's just it's basically saying you hit this button that's the first step in doing a case. Yeah. But when it's not, it's just a button.
Calm down, Etsy.
Yes, exactly.
Tammy said, my last sales haven't gotten any reviews. I do ask nicely in my thank you card that's included in the shipping box. And Starla, I do use your emails, purchase shipped and received. Still nothing. Any other advice to get reviews? Honestly, if you're using the swipe files and you're still not getting any reviews, I wouldn't worry too much. It stinks when people don't leave reviews, but the swipe files, which those are available for free at alphasugar.com, they were actually updated. I just updated them last week. I made them sound a little less bubblegummy. But ALPHA sugar.com if you guys want to look into those. But really, if you're doing all that, it means that you have fantastic customer service. You are doing the best that you can. And some customers they just don't leave reviews and you can't make them. So it sounds like you're already doing everything you need to do. I wouldn't worry about it.
You're not going to get 100% reviews. Yeah. I think last I heard, like about 30% is a good number. I don't know if it still is. I haven't looked into it, but yeah, no matter what you do, not everybody leaves reviews. I confess, I don't always leave reviews. I'm a terrible customer. I should know better.
Yeah. And then in terms of Melanie's issue, she said it wasn't that I didn't hit the need help button. The seller messaged me and I went to my messages. So it was not prompted at all. So yeah. Might be Etsy trying to test things and not doing a good job of it.
That's what it sounds like. Yes.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the chat's jumping all around. Give me just a second. Okay.
Well, did we not have something else we should be bringing up?
Darn it. I completely forgot about it. Okay. Yeah. Because we're down to the last 10 minutes. So we'll try to hurry up because I've got to record right after this. We'll show you our new thing. And if for any reason we don't get to your questions, please just post them in the group and we can make sure that we get to them. I forgot that we had an announcement.
A thing.
New tool feature.
Yes, some of you that are in the group might have seen this already, or if you've been on your eRank account, you might have seen this. So yeah, guys, let us know. This is a new area in your menu called Sites. I can hear Starla's very loud keyboard.
I know.
So we have so much data. Why not share some extra stuff with us? So there's a whole lot of details here, but and a little bit to help you rather than just have to search for something. When you go to the sites, we get stats for any website. Want to know how popular a website is? Which keywords do shoppers use to find? So what you just do is enter in any domain. Let's see if I can get something to work. Let's do
handmadealphaacademy.com. Etsy.com.
Yep. Be aware with this, because it's looking at the whole of the internet, that the very first thing most of us do is go in and put in our own website or our own blogs. They're very tiny. There won't be much data there. This is for looking at big things. But yes, if we looked at Etsy, we can see in the USA, it's ranked 43rd. That's the 43rd most popular site. And users, whole loads of data here. So users use it 19 page views per user. So loads of loads of interesting stuff here. Let us know what you think about this, guys, while we're looking at it. So you can look at the historical ranking over time, how it's been doing over the past few months. So definitely taken a little bit of a dip in the past little while, but it will be picking up again very soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm certainly getting, if I've had in the past couple of days, I'm getting a big jump in my views. So I think we're just on the cusp of it. And then we get a little breakdown of the popularity in other countries. So yeah, it's not quite as popular in Germany and France, but massive in the US and United Kingdom, and pretty good in Canada and Australia too. That's a surprise.
We were asked if we can put other Etsy shops in it. No, that's not really the purpose of the tool, because we've already got lots of competitor tracking tools within eRank, but it's a good way to say, I might want to sell on Amazon. Let's see how popular Amazon is compared to Etsy, or let's see how popular, maybe you want to work with a blogger or have somebody, shout out your products. Well, let's see how popular they really are. Or these people who say, oh, I will give you exposure on my website, in exchange for blah, blah, blah. And then you can say, how big is your website really?
Yeah, it's a cool way to compare things, especially if you're thinking of selling on different sites and things. But yeah, it's for that high level thing. You won't be surprised, guys, that Amazon is a little bit bigger than Etsy.
Really?
But it even shows you where the percentage of the traffic comes from, so you could compare. So Etsy is actually getting more percentage of its traffic from search than Amazon is. But yeah, interesting bits of data if you like bits of data.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's especially cool because there are a lot of other tools that provide, something similar, and they're very expensive to be able to see things like this. I've actually wanted to have a tool like this, but when I was looking at the subscriptions a few years ago, I was like, oh, this is too much to add another bill, just to check every once in a while to see things like this. So the fact that eRank now has it already built in is really, really great.
Yep, and I'm not going to show you just now because my computer, it's making some really terrible noises, but you can see it's saying new list, delete list, save as. So the sites that you look at the most, we've got the equivalent of a keyword list. You can save into lists for sites. So if you want to see over time, sometimes you're always checking in on the same thing. So you could save a bunch of sites together to have a look at how they're doing over time. Competitors for different places apart from Etsy, but you'll probably find, I think we've all poked around in this, you'll probably find all the competitors to Etsy are way tinier than we would like to think, apart from Amazon and eBay.
And Brian had said with the disappearance of Alexa, it's a great way great having a new way to look up sites. Yes, that used to be the primary place to go, was to look at the Alexa stats.
Oh, so Etsy's doing not bad compared to eBay. But yes, absolutely. I think so many of us did use the Alexa stats there. So this is a little bit to hopefully replace it. But get in there, guys, and have a poke around. It's under the blue menu bar. There is a whole new section called Sites. So get in, check it out. Please let us know what you think. Anthony has been playing around with this data and having so much fun, but he wants to know what you all think of it as well.
Gail had asked, is this for general merchandise and not a particular item? This is for actually seeing website traffic.
Yeah, this not every tool on eRank. We add some other tools that would be useful for different people for different situations. This is not so much. This is not for finding keywords or anything like this. This is seeing the relative popularity of different websites. So, like Starla says, if someone says they're going to post your items on a blog, you can have a look and see, is this blog actually any good? And chances are it won't be. But it's really to look and compare some of these big sites and see. And if you're saying is Etsy, are people going and seeing Etsy less? Is the trend going down? Is the trend going up? It's handy but it's big picture stuff.
Yeah, and it's good, for everybody who's like, oh, the last 5 months on Etsy, I'm not making any sales. Is it just me? Well, take a look, see if maybe Etsy traffic isn't as high. You can kind of identify these things for yourself now. Or for everybody who's like, oh, well, which SEO tool should I go with? You can see which one's the most popular. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I deliberately didn't bring up those because we don't want to be bashing other people, but
Nope,
yes.
nobody specific, but feel free to pop eRank in and compare. It's always fun.
Yeah, and it is nice. I mean, if you have your own website that's kind of doing really well, it's good to see that. And if you had a competitor, but this is only like most of our websites won't really show up on there. Starla's might. I haven't checked Starla's because Starla knows what she's doing a bit more. But it is fun to look and see. I won't say that everybody at eRank's been looking at eRank and seeing how we've been doing and comparing.
No, never.
We would never have fun doing something like that. Not at all.
I don't think that my website's most people hang out with me on YouTube, so it's probably not great at all.
True. Yeah, I think most of us aren't going to have big enough websites to do
No.
that. It's very hard to have a big website.
Yeah. Melanie said I would love to filter for the Netherlands so I can check our local big websites, not much traffic from other countries like the US.
We hang on. I didn't show that. Not the Netherlands, but we can. Oh, so many buttons. You can check other countries. We do have United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Germany, France, and New Zealand just now. When we have data, we will be adding it. I'm not sure there's a massive plan for the Netherlands yet, but who knows? But yes, you can look at different countries on that, and you can see the popularity of sites in different countries as well, which is really handy. Especially if you're looking at the craft sites, they are quite a bit different. As we said, Etsy's not the biggest in places like New Zealand, so where is? Have a look at that.
All right. Well, it looks like that's all the questions, which is perfect because we're right about at time. We had about 30 who hung out with us over on Facebook. We had about 20 hanging out with us on YouTube, which is more than usual. I know some of you had it both places, so but still, that's
Double
fantastic.
counting you, but that's great. Yes, we should double up all the time. That's best.
Yeah, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. And make sure that if you're watching on YouTube, you join our Facebook group. Even if you decide to start watching these on YouTube instead, you can go in there and ask questions on Wednesdays. That way we can make sure that we answer your questions first, which, it's fun. You get to cut in line. You can always find that post pinned to the very top of the group wall on Wednesdays. And make sure that you maybe give the video a little like that. And
Yeah,
you know what? We've
I
got
can
like,
see we have 21 people watching and only 12 thumbs up. So give us a
yeah.
wee thumbs up on YouTube because this is new and exciting. Even though we're both actual YouTubers, we haven't done it this way before.
No. Now, I do want to grab this question on YouTube just because it's so quick. Is it true that Etsy does not give a quality score for sales that resulted from traffic outside of Etsy? No, it is not.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Ask us again next week and we can go in depth in that. But Starla's totally right. Not true.
They made money. You made money. They don't care. There was money involved. And as long as Etsy's making money, they're happy. So, all right. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next